Hello, hello, superhumans. How are you? Hello, Siddy, Shakti. Great to see you as well. Always a delight and pleasure to be in your presence.
Thank
Welcome
you.
back. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a nice little break. And boy, weren't this morning's speakers jam-packed full of information and knowledge and wisdom and great practical how-to things. So well done to Michelle and the team and everyone who spoke this morning. It's been epic. So we are on the last half of day 3. This is our last day and we have 3 sessions left. And we have left some of the best people to last. So this beautiful woman in front of me here, Siddhi Shakti, is a sound energy healer. And she works a lot with sounds and tones and mantra and meditation in order to bring back harmony and healing and balance to our bodies, because our bodies are self-healing mechanisms. But sometimes we need to create space and environment for them to heal themselves. So I know that you work with chakras. I know that you're a bit like me and you're a corporate refugee that's left that world to start a new world. Siddhi Shakti, your topic today is renovate your reality, which has so much intrigue about it. So do share, how did you first get to be doing what you're doing?
Well, I love the corporate refugee bit. That's so I feel that.
Yep.
I pursued what I thought was the pathway to happiness, and
Mhm.
I got I've worked in a number of different careers, but had the nice job, all of the, apparent measures of success, and really just just could not connect with a sense of joy or fulfillment or happiness. I really remember going into locking myself in a meeting room one day in one of those high-rise offices in Sydney CBD and just going, "I can't do this for another 30 years." It was just
Wow.
so crushing to my spirit, this sense of, "Is this it, really?" And so it was that
Yes.
questing for, well, there's gotta be more, and really feeling quite sick to my stomach, like my energy levels were just not great, and
Wow.
I had read lots of books on meditation and philosophy and things, but that hadn't changed me, and it was only really when I started connecting with teachers that actually showed me energetic practices to change my energy and to change my thoughts and patterns that started my journey to, transitioning to a whole different experience of
Wow.
yeah.
And so, don't we want to give a shout out to all those teachers and healers and people who go before us and are kind of like way showers and show the way? And so, in doing that, I also want to pay my respects to the traditional custodians of the land, because both of us are here in Australia. We've had speakers from all over the world at this summit, but right now we're on First Nations people, Indigenous land, and there's so much we can learn from them as well. And they use sound and mantra and energy to heal the Earth's grid lines, let alone ourselves and each other as well. And I know you follow yogic practices and meditation. So there's such a big lineage of people who have gone before us. And so we stand on the shoulders of those amazing people.
Completely, and I was feeling such gratitude for, yes, just that my teachers that have y changed my life, because I can't imagine what trajectory that would have taken me on had I not intersected with them, it brings tears to my eyes actually,
Yeah.
because I'm so grateful to have had a process of awakening, and it hasn't been easy, but it, it's so much richer, really, and
And you
empowering.
wouldn't be the amazing, vibrant being that you are sitting here in front of us if that all hadn't happened. So we're grateful as well.
Oh, wonderful. It really is. So I wanted to share some of what I had, been opened to, in terms of, the practices, of use of sound to help vibrate and lift our energy. But I thought as a framework for speaking or getting to that experience, we could talk a little bit about the chakras, if that's okay.
I love the chakras. I love the spinning wheels.
The spinning wheels of energy, and they're unseen to the human eye, but they're the energy centers, right, that bring our experiences of life in to us, and they're receptacles for storehouses of energy and information. And the main ones, we know about the main ones that run up the central spine, but we have hundreds of them through the body
Yes.
where the lines of energy intersect. When we can change our chakral configuration and the energy that we hold, we can experience higher states of awareness, a greater sense of wellness and well-being. And it's really our thoughts that are pulling a lot of the resonance into our energy system and the quality of our thoughts. So you know that when we're thinking negative thoughts, heavy thoughts, pessimistic, judgmental, just not great, our vibration starts to plummet. But
Mm.
conversely, when we're thinking something more uplifting and happy, then our vibration speeds up. And so it's the
Right.
combination of the thought and the emotion that is really a potent opportunity for us. And it's
I
not
didn't
that
know that. I didn't know that it speeds up with the more positive and slows down. I mean, it makes sense that the
right?
lower vibe thoughts and feelings, hurt, anger, desire, fear, would be denser, but I
Yeah,
didn't realize that it actually slowed down and sped up.
yeah. So we wanna be lifting as much as we can, as well as freeing up what's already in there, and I guess that's where the idea of energy healing can really help us
Mm.
to unlock some of the traumas that's been talked about before today, about some of the energy, the thoughts and beliefs and emotions that have been held, because it's not that emotions are bad, it's just when
Yes.
we fail to allow them to flow and we hang on to that energy, that it gets stuck within our energetic system. And so that's the sort of stuff that can create the challenges for us
Mm. Mm.
energetically. And
Yeah.
so the chakras are really mechanisms for bringing energy into and out of the system, and it's pulling information to us all the time from our experiences, with other people or circumstances. And the chakras are the containers which are holding our energy. So you've got your chakras, and then you've got your personal energy bubble and protective shield of the aura. But the chakras are very interactive with our environment, and they're like transfer
Yeah.
units. And so we know that when they're feeling robust and energized and clean, then we feel great. And conversely, when we're holding heavy energy, that's when we start to feel less than well, and it can affect our physical well-being. And
I always like to refer to it as having either crispy cells or juicy cells. And I love
right,
it when they're juicy, right? When you're feeding them good stuff and they feel alive and, full of water and nutrients, then everything seems to be more cushioned and softer. But
yeah.
when it's crispy or stuck or blocked, that's when things start to break down.
Right, and we know that in ourselves, right? We know that our spirit is just not feeling great. I mean, that when I think back to that moment in that meeting room all those years ago, I
Mm.
recognize that now as just going, like you would look at me and go, "There's nothing wrong with this person," but on the
Yeah.
inside, I felt dreadful. And it was just all of that unresolved stuff, not just from not pursuing what was really lighting me up, but, living other people's versions of my life, not
Yeah.
resolving things from my past, blah, 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 blah. All that stuff
Yeah.
held in my system. And so the chakras have a lot to do with how we function emotionally. And so, the unhealthy stuck energy in there is really a sign of unresolved pain. And
Mm.
and so through clearing that, we can release ourselves into a more vibrant possibility. And so that's what I mean by the renovation of reality, because then as
Hey.
we're holding something different within ourselves, we're like a radio station beaming out a different frequency, and then magnetically, we draw to us different experiences of life. So I guess just like what Jill was talking about earlier in that example she gave this morning about people, pulling shadow experiences to you, when you can release that from within yourself, then magnetically you're having a different experience. So it's quite a profound, empowering thing really to go, "Oh, I can actually do something about this. I can change the way I'm holding my energy in my chakral system."
Yeah.
And then the possibilities, once we do start to clear some of that stuff, it's opening a gateway to higher potential, higher consciousness, higher intelligence, that is the framework within us, the hardware, I suppose, that enables us to connect with other dimensions, that will give us access to clairaudience or clairvoyance or, guides and angels, and that's the
Mm.
process that is able to connect with different aspects of reality that are beyond our physical operating system.
Wow. So what's coming to me, I guess lots of people go, I want to access that realm and I want to access my guides, but they don't know how. And so this is kind of finding a conduit. And what was coming to me is what you're presenting is kind of like a magic carpet. You're giving us this little vehicle that we can hop on and, in order to move through to those other spaces and places.
Yeah, because the chakras are, receptacles for
Mm.
our consciousness, and as we change what we're holding there and our thoughts and beliefs and emotions, and not just having a thought, but, like a repetitive thought will form and merge with our energy and create a thought form which will sit in our energy, and so we think
Mm.
that the thought is coming from our mind, but the mind is actually the receiving station for
Right.
what beaming out from our energy. So we could be holding thoughts, unhelpful thoughts about low self-esteem that we
Right.
don't even consciously know, but that's running as the program within us. So there's a lot of empowerment in doing the work of clearing the chakras and transforming your reality. And so by shifting negative and outmoded energy and replacing that with something affirming, like affirmations that we were talking about, we can
Yeah.
actually gradually change the balance of what we're holding within us. And it's like turning the ship of your life in a different direction.
And so I'm curious, does that mean that we don't need to, unlike, say, a psychotherapy or something, we don't need to necessarily even know what is this stuck piece of energy or where did that come from, that we can actually just clear it and let it go without having to dig into, oh, that must have been when I was 12 years old and this happened, that, anything that's stuck or the self-limiting beliefs or whatever they might be, we don't necessarily have to pick them up and play with them. We don't have to star in our movie. We can do some of this work and it's just through vibration and sound, clearing it naturally.
Yeah, well, that's been my experience because I've done, a lot of this exploration and work with
Yeah.
energy, with teachers and people that have helped me on my path, and that's been my experience of it, that I haven't, so, like, sometimes, yes, I've gone, "Okay, well, yes, that clearly was that thing that I
Yeah.
remember from my childhood." But
Mm.
equally, there can be, patterns that have carried from other lifetimes that you don't
Mm.
necessarily consciously remember, but you can clear that energy if you have, there's a whole piece there, which is a whole other tangent about having the karmic grace to be able to clear stuff,
Oh,
because
oh, karmic grace. Oh, I
yeah,
love that.
that's another, tangent, but yeah, I don't my own experience has been that you don't need to necessarily know all of the details, because sometimes we can want to attach as well to the drama of the story and, get caught up in that loop of, well, I'm identifying myself as this, and this, and it's like, well, you could just choose to let that go and free yourself from being the person that is telling that tale of drama and go, "Okay, I'm pulling my power back from that now. I'm releasing that." And so that's what, I've been trained to facilitate as well in the energy work, is using a particular frequency of light and energy to help, a bit like spray and wipe, to help release some of that energy that we've been holding, to then put in something more affirming, into the system. And so that's a mechanism for helping to transform how we're holding the awareness and energy in our chakras.
And I've had
Mm.
the distinct pleasure of being a participant in some of your sessions. We've had you play with us in our Superhuman Experience program before, and we are actually running a Superhuman Experience after this summit. And also, I've had you out to my beautiful property, the Valley of Joy, and we've done a healing in the yoga room there. And those experiences, each one has been really different for me. But that last one out at the valley, I
Yeah.
went really deep, so much so that when everyone was talking after, I was like, I have no words. And that's really rare for me to have no words. Um, because clearly, without understanding it from that cognitive kind of place, my body was releasing stuff and allowing that. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
quite profound and magical. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also empowering because then you go, "Oh, okay, I can do this." Just like, again, some of your previous speakers were talking about self-healing, that we don't have to be victims to our
Mm.
experiences in life, or maybe the negative patterns that we have been accustomed to, or that were reinforced one way or another, either through our own self-criticism and judgment, or,
Yeah.
stuff that we've taken on board. We can actually free ourselves from that. And the power is like in the chakral development, and that the more robust and healthy our energy system is, it changes the reality and the experience of life, and also
Mm.
our relationships with
Yeah.
people. Quite profound. So
And so I'm hearing it can have a bit of a compound effect, a bit like meditation, where a lot of yogis will say it's like producing a shining skull, that every time you meditate, it's clearing, clearing, clearing. We've just had a question here. I don't know if you can see from Brenema that says, can you please tell me more about how to let go in that process? I think we're
yeah.
going to actually
Yeah, well, we'll
experience
have a
it.
experience of that, actually. So
Yeah.
there are, I guess it's finding ways and techniques that are gonna be, resonant for you, because I guess there are so many different healing modalities out there, and at any different times, I mean, I try lots of different things for myself as well, depending on what's happening in my life. The
Mm.
modality of energy healing that I trained in and that I work with, and that has been really profound for me, has been called Ignite Your Spirit, and it uses a frequency of light to, like I said before, go into the chakras and to release. So we might do a combo experience in a moment, in the time that we have left, of doing a little bit of a clearing using some of that light frequency. And then also the use of mantra for me has been very profound, as a means, not just as a practice to still the mind, which is one of the
Mm.
key components of connection to the higher self, but as a means also of using very specific sound frequencies of the Sanskrit sounds, because they correlate to the different chakral petals. And so when you're very specific with the pronunciation and the making of the sounds, you're vibrating your etheric body and your body of sound. So that again is having an energetic effect to lift your vibration. So finding spiritual practices that are supportive for you, and regular, because it's about the frequency as well.
Mm.
It's like you wouldn't just take one Panadol and go, "Okay, well, now everything's fixed." It's a
That's all
it's a
my headaches for the rest of my life.
Yeah, it's a journey of growth and going, "Okay, I'm putting the value upon myself, that this is an important aspect of my well-being, and I'm going to take the time every day, whether it's 5 minutes, I mean, half an hour would be great, to commit to yourself that it's a means of, we call it energetic or etheric hygiene." Just like
Mm.
at the turn of the century, like washing your hands was considered probably a bit crazy. This is kind of the awareness of this emerging age, that we're going, actually, we're beings of energy, and we have to manage our energy and we can do that consciously. And so this is part of that process, and finding things that support you in that, whether that's energy healing or meditation or mantra or any other practice,
Absolutely.
time in
Absolutely.
nature.
And I think, and lots of people are commenting and saying they've got goosebumps and they're loving karmic grace, that they know people who have never had enough money or are always unwell, and that they hold on to those beliefs. So they obviously haven't discovered you yet, Siddhi, Shakti, and some of your magnificence. But I can't agree more. And ancient wisdom and cultures use mantra, right? They might have song, or they might have ritual and prayer, and they'll use cleansing in a river or smoking ceremony or whatever it might be, so much. And yet in modern world, probably our hygiene is more cleaning our teeth and making sure we've got a clean face when we go to work.
Yeah.
But we've lost some of that grounded practices. And I think every speaker so far has talked about meditation, mindfulness, having a daily practice. And like you said, start with 5 minutes if that's what you've got.
Yeah.
You'll pretty soon get addicted and you'll build up to the 30 minutes, I reckon.
Well, that's the thing now, because I feel if I don't do the stuff, I kind of go, well, I don't feel right, you know? And it's like, okay, this is actually the most important thing. And you know, that part of us, when you think, okay, when you go into nature, you feel a certain way, you know, well, for most people anyway, and you feel very differently when you're in a shopping center. And people have
Yes.
the experience of potentially being with somebody and feeling drained. Conversely, you can spend time with someone and feel absolutely energized and amazed. And what's the bit of you that's responding to that?
Mm,
That's your energetic body, your etheric body, and your chakral system, which is reading the energy all the time,
mm,
interacting all the time. And so that's the part of you that's going, "Oh, actually, I'm getting information from everywhere." And so we, over time, can take on stuff. And so it's like clearing the dryer filter. You wanna make sure that your energy field is clean so that
yep.
your chakras can be rotating at optimum speed, and, you know, that you can be having more energy coming into your system. So
I
it's
love that visual. We're like all clothes dryers with lint getting stuck. So it's like defluffing ourselves.
yeah. So you can have the, you know, the roofing of the optimum running of your energetic structure, you know?
Mm,
It's quite
mm.
exciting as a way. So shall we have
Let's
a
play.
time is ticking, so
Let's
shall we just
play.
yeah? We'll do a little bit of the, energy stuff and then move into the sound experience if that's cool. So
Great.
I'm gonna
Great,
turn
great.
on a drone as well, just for a bit of ambiance. So inviting everyone to drop into a comfortable position, whatever that is for you. Breathing slowly and deeply. Allowing your energy to be really present for you. Try breathing in for the count of 3 and out for the count of 6. And imagining that you are under a waterfall of light, bright, bright white with flecks of violet through it. And it's cascading through the top of the head, down through the body, and out through the base of the spine. And just like spray and wipe, the light has the capacity to carry with it everything that doesn't serve you. And it's also flushing through your aura, your personal energy bubble. So allowing the light, giving it permission to release, just intending internally, I now choose to release all negative energy, negative thoughts and vibrations, negative thought forms and negative beliefs from my body, my mind and my energy field. And breathe in from above and imagine releasing from everywhere. And releasing any energies of stress, heaviness and exhaustion. Imagine you can breathe out through the base of the spine. If you had a tail, in that sort of energy area there, base chakra, just imagine releasing from there. And this is the energy center as well that is associated with our sense of identity, our security, our safety, our foundations. If there are any blockages, any instability that you feel, releasing from there. And now take your awareness to the point at the lower two ribs, the solar plexus area, and releasing from here any accumulated energy. This is the center of our awareness and identity and of ego. So self-worth, self-esteem, self-belief, or lack of any of those things are common themes here. Self-criticism and judgment. If that is in any way relevant, any voices of negative self-talk, imagine you can release some of that energy here now. Breathing out. And let's release lines of energy that might have connected you to circumstances and people that don't serve you anymore. So for those of you that are connected into the idea of angels, imagine Archangel Michael and a sword of light coming down the back of the body and the front of the body and cutting all lines of energy that are draining you and connecting you to any people or places or things, times and events that don't serve you. And allowing those lines of energy to return to the earth to be fed. We don't disrupt the field of love in which we operate, but we can set those lines of energy free. Good. We're going to move into the use of some mantra now to vibrate the chakras. And there are specific sounds for each chakra that help the energy. They're called the bija sounds. So the sound in the base chakra, take your awareness to the base of the spine, is Nam Lam. We'll repeat that a few times, probably 3 or 4 times each, and then we'll move up the spine, up through the energy centers. Inhaling. Nam Lam. Nam Lam. Nam Lam. Nam Lam. Breathing up, bringing your awareness to the sacral chakra, the pubic bone region. The sound is Mum Vam. Inhaling. Mum Vam. Mum Vam. Mum Vam. Mum Vam. Breathing up, bring the awareness to the point at the lower 2 ribs. The sound here, Sim Ram. Sim Ram. Sim Ram. Sim Ram. Sim Ram. Breathing slowly and deeply. Lifting your awareness to the heart center, where the sound is Vam Yam. Vam Yam. Vam Yam. Vam Yam. Vam Yam. Lift to the throat chakra. Yum Hum. Yum Hum. Yum Hum. Yum Hum. Yum Hum. Bring the awareness to the third eye, the point between the eyebrows. Shiva, Om. Shiva being the word for consciousness and light. Inhaling. Shiva, Om. Shiva, Om. Shiva, Om. Shiva, Om. Take the awareness to the crown. We'll use the word Svaha. 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 Breathing slowly and deeply. We'll take you into a chant experience. This is calling on the energy of consciousness and light and spaciousness. We'll do a few repetitions of this. Om Namah Shivaya.
Shivaya.
That's it. On the Namah, I'd like to bring your awareness to the point at the top front teeth. There's a fleshy spot there, full of nerve endings. It's going to activate energy lines through the brain. Hit the na there, Namah. And it's an a releasing of breath on the Namah. Here we go. Om Namah Shivaya. Your turn. Om
Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Feeling for the vibration internally. So more than singing outwards, gift the sound internally and allow the vibration to open. The sound can get into places beyond our conscious mind. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Good. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Remembering that point behind the top front teeth. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Follow the sound internally. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Just allow yourself to feel the vibration. Sit with it for just 30 seconds. Breathing slowly and deeply, and imagine breathing in through the top of the head and releasing out the back of the body. Breathe in through the top of the head, release through the base of the spine. And now imagine breathing the sun in through the top of the head. Bring it to that point at the lower two ribs. And imagine radiating sunlight from there and filling up all of the spaces. Radiant with your light, your unique vibration, your gifts for the world. And affirming your self-belief, self-worth, and self-respect. You can say that to yourself until you choose to love, value, accept, and respect myself unconditionally. I choose to give this to myself unconditionally. And breathe that in to that energy center there, the chakra. Good. And now take your awareness to the base of the spine and imagine that you can plug yourself into the earth through the base of the spine. So send a taproot down on every exhale. breathing into the earth and connect with Mother Earth. Breathe in through the top of your head, pull the energy from above down through the earth, through your body into the earth. And really plug in. On every exhale, connecting more deeply. And send out subsidiary roots from that big taproot. And now when you breathe in, breathe up from the earth into the base of the spine. And just affirming, I am securely grounded, supported and connected to Mother Earth. Good. And stabilize. And just seeing how you feel. Breathing slowly and deeply and bringing your awareness back to the room.
Oh, do we have to?
No. I'll just log off and let you drift happily into your next.
Let me be zen before the next person. Oh, I hope I don't need to use my brain. That's
yeah.
super.
So hopefully everyone feels more spacious and more radiant. That's how we would help to transform our energy. So that's one of the practices.
We're getting lots of love bombing happening on Facebook. And we have kind of like 2 or 3 minutes before we need to complete. So firstly, anyone at home who's watching or wherever you are, please feel free to pop questions, comments, or anything into the Facebook group, or if you're on LinkedIn or YouTube, pop a comment in. We're getting some now saying thank you so much. If you've got questions for Siddhi Shakti, please ask them now. And Marlon said that was amazing.
Thanks, Marlon.
And also, is there anything that you really wanted to share that we may not have gotten to already, Siddhi Shakti? Was there any final words you wanted to leave people with?
Just that the power really is with us to change and to determine how we want to have our lives interact. Like it's not that we're not going to experience challenges in life, because I guess that's the nature of living and being on the planet.
Absolutely.
But what I've learned, again, through the encouragement and support of people wiser than myself, is that we have a choice in how we respond to that and how we hold our energy, and consciousness can really make a difference in that. So it determines whether we respond rather than react, and the more of these types of practices we do, the more empowered we are to manage our energy in the face of, let's hope, not challenging things, but we're more resilient in that way.
Absolutely. And it's that little gap that makes all the difference between react and respond. We've got lots of comments coming in. Nicole saying, love that. Thank you. Sonia said, beautiful. Belinda's saying her third eye is buzzing and she feels really at peace. Branimir is saying, amazing, feeling expanded from the inside, and felt a beautiful scent of sandalwood lingering around. That's lovely. Wow, that's really lovely. So thank you so much for your wisdom and sharing. It's always a divine pleasure. I am really pushing my feet into the ground to get myself re-grounded.
Put those roots
to help me float away. Luckily, I've got a cape, so I can fly. But really, thank you for renovating our reality today. And as a property investor, I really relate to the visual of renovating our own reality. And I think we just got a new lick of paint today, and maybe next time we can start polishing the floorboards. But it's been a joy and a delight to have you share here on the Energy series. And I think this has been a really great example of energy and how some of these things that we can do are free, right? They just take some intention and pausing and reflecting. And so it is accessible to everyone, no matter where you are, in what corner of the world, no matter what your financial situation, your age, your race. This is acceptable and accessible for everyone. So it's a complete joy and honor. So glad you're a corporate refugee. And are now in your slipstream of flow. We've been delighted to witness that. And for those of you who are wanting to experience even more flow, if you haven't already checked out our Superhuman experience, Michelle and I love nothing more than helping people get into their state of flow. And we know when we're in ours, and we know when we're out of it. And we know when we're in that space of moving into a higher realm and getting synchronicities happening and starting to have our brains synchronized. Sometimes it's scary. We both say the same thing or go, I had an idea or a dream overnight. And I'm like, damn it, so did I. And, having the same thing pop up. But the Superhuman experience is about how can you start stepping into that realm and experiencing that more often. So please join us. It's starting on the 3rd of May. And if you're joining right now, there's a link going across the screen as we speak at Being More Human, the Superhuman experience. You get $250 off if you join during the summit. We'd love to have you come and play, just like we've played today with the beautiful Siddy Shakti. So everyone, if you can please honor her and send some blessings and love right back at her. We respect you and we wish you well on your path forward. Please, if you're watching the replay, remember #replay so that we know. Thank you, everyone who's joined us live from all over the world, sending comments and love. This is how we create change in the world. This is how we create world peace. We start within. Join us in about 10 minutes for a very dear friend of mine, the co-CEO of Singularity University, Christina Gerakides. I'm going to maybe go and walk barefoot for a minute to get myself grounded. Much love. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.